A Chinese research team has set out for the highest location in Antarctica, the Kunlun station, to carry out a 2-month inland expedition.
For decades, we've heard sensational stories about Antarctica. For decades, Antarctica has been wrapped in wild rumors, ancient civilizations, hidden technology, even extraterrestrial secrets. Most people dismissed it as internet fantasy. But something happened recently that changed the conversation completely. A Chinese scientific mission, officially sent to study ice and climate patterns, began transmitting data that stunned experts back home. The readings didn't match known science. The numbers shouldn't have been possible. Then, without warning, the signals stopped. What did they uncover beneath the ice? Why was the mission abruptly shut down? And why was the world barely told anything at all? This is the story behind one of the most mysterious places on Earth. Let's begin. The strange signs. For most of human history, Antarctica was less a continent and more a blank spot on the map. Not because nothing was there, but because no one could survive long enough to explore it. Temperatures plunged below -80 degrees Celsius. Winds tore across the ice at hurricane speeds. There was simply no reason to look beneath the surface. That changed in the mid-20th century. During the early Cold War, both the United States and the Soviet Union conducted radar surveys over Antarctica. Officially, these flights were meant to study ice thickness and improve navigation. But some of the data didn't add up. Radar signals bounced back too cleanly in certain regions, as if they were reflecting off smooth, solid surfaces instead of rough rock. Gravity sensors detected massive underground formations that didn't resemble mountains or valleys. The shapes didn't fit known geology. At the time, the technology wasn't advanced enough to explain it. The anomalies were recorded, labeled, and quietly forgotten. In the 1970s, satellite imaging improved. Scientists discovered hidden features like the Gamburtsev Mountains, an entire mountain range buried under kilometers of ice. But alongside these discoveries were stranger findings: circular formations, deep cavities, and magnetic disturbances that caused instruments to malfunction. Some researchers blamed asteroid impacts. Others pointed to volcanic activity. But a small group noticed something troubling. The anomalies appeared in the same locations decade after decade, unchanged. Eventually, global interest faded. Antarctica was costly, dangerous, and politically quiet. But one nation didn't stop paying attention. China enters Antarctica. For decades, Antarctica was dominated by Western powers and the Soviet Union. Their research focused mainly on coastal regions where conditions were slightly more forgiving. The interior remained largely untouched. That changed in the 1980s. In 1980, China joined the Antarctic Treaty System, a move that raised eyebrows. At the time, China lacked icebreakers, polar aircraft, and experience in extreme cold operations. It looked symbolic. It wasn't. In 1984, China launched its first independent Antarctic expedition using a refitted cargo ship. Against all odds, the team reached King George Island and built Great Wall Station in just 40 days. Then came Zhongshan Station in 1989. In 2009, China established Kunlun Station deep inland at Dome A, the coldest, highest point on the Antarctic ice sheet. Later, more stations followed. On paper, it was climate research. But when analysts mapped the locations, something stood out. China's inland stations formed a rough triangle. And at its center lay the Gamburtsev Mountains, one of the most mysterious regions beneath the ice. It didn't look random. Years later, that suspicion would deepen. The G1 anomaly Kunlun Station is one of the most isolated places on Earth. Temperatures regularly drop below -80 degrees. Winds never stop. In 2018, Chinese researchers began conducting deep ice scans using advanced radar equipment. Their goal was simple: map the bedrock beneath the ice. What they found wasn't. Instead of scattered echoes, the radar revealed a smooth, curved surface nearly 4 kilometers below, shaped like a dome. Every scan returned the same result. Magnetic sensors reacted violently. Instruments spiked, power systems flickered, and communication equipment failed, but only when scanning that exact location. The anomaly was labeled G1. Data suggested a hollow structure the size of a stadium. No known natural formation could explain it. For the first time, the team considered an unsettling possibility. Something beneath the ice wasn't natural. Confirming the unthinkable. A specialized drill was assembled, designed to penetrate kilometers of ice without damaging whatever lay below. As it descended, sensors detected rhythmic pulses, steady and precise. Then the sound changed. The drill hit empty space. A fiber optic camera was lowered into the borehole. The feed stabilized and revealed a smooth metallic surface, curved and reflective, frozen in place. No one spoke. The object was real. But that wasn't the only discovery. Nearby ice samples showed irregular densities, pockets that didn't behave like normal frozen layers. Something else was there. Something alive. The cover-up. When word of the incident reached Beijing, the response was immediate and final. Communications from Kunlun Station were cut off. Satellite feeds were closely watched, then quietly altered or erased. The few team members who made it out were reassigned without explanation, their names slowly disappearing from any public record. Official reports told a simple story: a minor ice gas release, a routine accident, no injuries, nothing unusual. But that explanation raised more questions than it answered. China's intense focus on the very center of Antarctica, followed by a sudden withdrawal with nothing to show for it, didn't add up. Why spend years building infrastructure, pushing into one of the most hostile places on Earth, only to walk away in silence? The reason was control. Revealing what had been found, the metallic structure, the strange signals, the living ice, could have triggered global panic. It would have drawn foreign expeditions, political pressure, and scrutiny China wasn't prepared to face. Keeping the discovery hidden meant maintaining leverage and keeping everyone else out. To the outside world, the mission simply never existed. Fragments began circulating quietly, short clips, partial reports, leaked images passed hand to hand among scientists and journalists. They showed the borehole, the dome beneath the ice, instruments reacting in ways they shouldn't. Even if officials denied it, the evidence couldn't be completely erased. And once those fragments appeared, curiosity spread fast. In the end, the questions are as endless as the ice itself. And for now, all we can do is wonder about what still lies hidden beneath Antarctica's frozen surface. So, what do you think? Did China bury the truth? Or was the entire operation meant to distract the world from something even bigger? Share your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, hit like, subscribe if you haven't already, and stick around. We've got more unbelievable stories coming your way. See you next time.